Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well and staying strong as fuck. I'm Aditya. I'm back with another video. I'm sure you already know my name. I have my last video uploaded. I'll tag you if you haven't seen the last video. And in the last video, I mentioned myself as someone who's into fitness and call myself not really a fitness enthusiast, but someone who have a knack for fitness. But I think I found a good word for it, and that word would be a fitness storyteller. I strongly believe that if you have a fitness journey where if you have a journey with fitness, if you have a journey with fitness, and it will have a strong story attached to it, where you come from a very dark place. You come from where you have suffered, you were not physically fit, or you have seen something where you think that your body wasn't with you that time, and that thing struck you so hard that you just wanted to be in fitness, and you just wanted to be the best version of yourself. And it could be anything, not just going to gym, but just being active and be able to do everything you want to, which most of the people cannot, because not most of the people are fit around you. So I think a fitness storyteller would make a lot of sense, because every strong transformation journey, and you've seen mine. I'll again post pictures. I was 100 kgs and I came down to 80 kgs, and so for me, I was really disciplined and I had a very strong mindset. But not everyone is like that. Sometimes you need a really hard push, and I explain why I was like that. Why I didn't always need a push, and I was quite highly self motivated, or I would say discipline. Discipline is a better word. But for me it was different. But a lot of people need actually a push, to reach that place where they have that get going mindset. Oh, I want to achieve that in my life. I want to be really fit. So today I'm going to discuss some of my stories, how fitness helped me in America to stay sane, and in tough times it was hard for me in tough times, because I had visa issues in America, and there was job issues. A lot of immigrants same the same issues. A lot of immigrants come back even though because of the visa issues. So how I'll explain how because of fitness I could survive in that land and actually got something out of it, rather than just coming back with nothing. I'll tell you. I'll give you a quick review. I went to States for my master's in 2014. I came back in late 2019, so I was almost there for 5.5 years. During that time, I did my master's, and and then was trying to achieve American dream, which everyone thinks they would, if they go there. It looks very fancy. It looks very fancy from outside, and all those big lights, skyscrapers. You kind of feel that you're living that hype life. You have that adrenaline rush when you see all those things in the movies, but the picture is really different, right? As a tourist is very different, as someone who lives there is very different. It's a hard life. It's a hard life, away from your own people, just juggling between luck and if you're fortunate enough, you land a good job. But what takes a big toll on that is your health. And I would say that why I'm discussing this and why is this relevant, because I want to know people that why, if you're healthy and if you have a habit of a healthy lifestyle, how it will take you out of tough times. And I'm going to discuss that how what happened. So when I went to US, I am someone. Let me give you a little background on myself. I am someone who has always been into sports. I played national basketball. I played basketball for 10 years. I played nationals. I played, of course, it comes from district, state, nationals. I played in different college events. Then I've competed in swimming competitions, in marathons, and I've been doing that since I was a kid. I always loved sports and everything. So I was never a kid where I had problem with playing, or I had lack of motivation to not play or go out and just be out with friends. I was always get going with my zeal of be on the streets. There's American slang that they belong to the streets. It's, of course, it's said in a very derogatory way to other people, but I'm just saying that I was for the streets means that I was on the streets all the time. and I really wanted to be there. I really wanted to enjoy, play, and I took my sports really seriously. So I was like dedicated. I was 4 p.m. I'm on the court. If the court is dirty, I'm gonna swipe. I'm gonna bring a broom with myself, and I'm gonna swipe the court and make it clean. And then we start playing for another 4 hours. Back home by 8 p.m. So generally, that was me during the school time. So because of that, I always wanted to be a sports person. I loved sports. But then I went to America. It becomes tough. You have to manage your food, your studies. You have to manage your average GPA, which you have to manage from out of 4, which has to be 3 at least. Otherwise, they will deport you back to India. To get a job also, you need at least 3 GPA out of 4. So the criteria are really tough, and then you get assignments and stuff. You have deadlines. In the same time, you have to manage everything. You have to manage your money, which you have limited. You have to find a job on campus or off campus. People do off campus jobs as well, to sustain there, because it's expensive. You can't ask for money. Not everyone is fortunate enough to get help from home. So everyone finds their way out, somehow, to make some money. But what takes a big toll on this is your health. You have monetary gains, but you start losing your health, in those years, and if you lose that motivation, then it becomes hard for you to really keep going. I gained 25 kgs of weight when I went there, because the food is very different. Imagine that while growing up in India, in a country like India, you have never been exposed to something with a similar water content, nutrients in their water, right, or food. So your body doesn't understand. But once you go there, you have the different water, you have a different kind of vegetables, nutrients in the vegetables, right? The vegetation is different, the soil is different. So you get something different out of the soil. Of course, it can't be same, right? And your body understands it in a different way. So it reacts to it in that way. And mostly it's weight gain. So in that journey, you kind of lose yourself, just to gain that. Okay, I'll get a visa, I'll secure a job, I'll do this, So that's the problem. But and for me, when I had visa issue problems, I had visa issue problems in US, and I was going through tough times. I wanted to come back. I wanted to come back to India, and I used to tell my mom on phone that मुझे घर वापस आना है, मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है यहाँ पे. Because I was running low on money, I was hesitant to ask money from my parents. Generally when you start earning once, you kind of save. You don't ask for money from your parents again, right? What saved me, and what helped me was that. So I also learned mixed martial arts. I learned it in India. I had a thing to learn mixed martial arts. So I had some classes for a couple of months in India. And then when I went there, I loved that sport. So I was really good in the sports, because I feel that some people are good with movements, and I feel I'm one of them. So I used to grab things very quickly, and when I went there, I was the only Indian. So there's a sport called jiu-jitsu. It's kind of wrestling, but a modern art wrestling with a lot of different kind of things in it. So I enrolled myself. So there was a time where I wasn't having a job for a couple of months, and it was driving me crazy. And I was like, either I go back to India, or either I go back to India like that, or either I learn something. So I joined the jiu-jitsu school. And I was the only Indian there. We are so many. I was the only Indian there, and people would not believe that there's an Indian guy who's doing like a MMA kind of fighting. And it's hard because most of the people are not from North India. In North India, we have a lot of wrestlers. In Delhi, Gurgaon, or in like Haryana area. If people go from here, they're more. The build is different. So they are more engaged in physical contact sports. But most of the people are not from that part of India. They're from different parts. So, and they are not mostly into these kind of sports, like combat sports, or not much into physical training. So I was there, and I learned that. So the bad time I had, I was like, okay, I'll take back something where I might be able to teach few people when I go back to India, and rather just go empty-handed. I tried for a lot of jobs, I couldn't get it, because of visa issues. I had interviews. I would get the interview, but I would not get a job, because at the end they would say, oh, we cannot sponsor you visa. And that went for a long time. If someone is doing nothing, they would go nuts in those times. So I was there, and jiu-jitsu was something I learned in India, and I wanted to continue that. So I joined the jiu-jitsu school, and I did that for a couple of months. Almost a year I went to that school. and it really helped me. First of all, luckily I landed 3 jobs a few months later because I kept myself calm. I kept giving interviews. I worked on my interviews, but also the jiu-jitsu and this physical training was keeping me sane. So I was more focused. I was like, okay, I have something in hand. When you have something, when you have that feeling of security um, that okay, I am not going empty-handed. I'm learning something. This might help me in future. You kind of feel relaxed and calm. That feeling I already had because I was already learning that art again, and getting better at it. But then something good happened because I was there, so I was not coming. So kind of jiu-jitsu stopped me to stay there so that I can learn it. Otherwise, I would have come back. Or someone who's not into physical training or something like that would feel sad and come back because he had nothing to do there. And I did not come back because I was enrolled in the school and I really wanted to make the most out of it. So I did not come back, and I got a good job. I got job offers from 3 big companies, but still, I had visa issues and I had to come back. But that kept me there for enough time so that I could actually. The best part was I could get my parents there, to show them around, and from on my money, right? I mean, I don't know how it sounds to you guys, but it really gives me a feeling of pride that I could spend my own money and get them to states to. Of course, they could have done it by themselves, not a big deal. But that feeling of doing something for your parents and siblings gives you a different joy, right? So it helped me to stay there so that I get a good job, and I was there enough in that job so that I could save some money, secure few things in my life. Also, I had few encounters. So US is not a very friendly place. There street thugs all everywhere. People have to be really careful. In India, you might have to be less careful on the street, but in US you have to be a lot careful. A neighborhood can go really bad from just like 200 meters away. 200 meters everything is good, but 200 meters everything is black and there's drug dealing and all the sketchy people are there. So, and I'll tell you an incident. What happened with me once is like there's a homeless guy, and he was asking me for my phone. He wanted to call someone. He was a homeless person. Of course, I won't give him my phone. I don't know, right? He would run with the phone. So I said, okay, please can you stay away? Don't come close to me. And I think that I don't know what happened. He started following me. I was coming back from a training. I was coming back from a mixed martial arts training. I did not want to get into any kind of physical contact or some kind of physical fight with this person. So I avoided him and I changed my lane. He kept following me. So I saw a cop car and I thought, okay, I'll tell the cops that this guy is troubling me. I seen the car and there's no one in the car. And this guy could be carrying anything. He could be carrying a gun as well. And this is like in the middle of downtown Los Angeles. This is 10:30 p.m. My training went late, and that time I didn't have a car. So because I changed my state, so I didn't have a car, and so I was waiting for the night bus. He kept following me, and there was a point which came where I could not go further. Or the cars were coming like this, and there was this end point. There was nothing, and that was the moment of truth or whatever you can say. Now I have to deal with it, and I actually dealt with it. This person came, we got into a little physical fight, and I put him down. And then I had to, I had to sort to those grounds, and then there was nothing. I mean, I asked him, okay, why are you following me or whatever, right? So, and once he was on the ground, he's like, okay, I'm leaving, because he got scared. He understood. But the thing is that if you would have been scared, I don't know what you would have done, right? It would be really tough. So that fitness, that knowing that art, just because I wanted to do something in fitness, I wanted to learn that art. That actually helped me that day to come or to actually face that person, in a foreign land. So this gives us, if you hear, this gives you more confidence when you are physically fit and when you are more confident and you can handle something, you become more fearless. It gives you power over other people, because you know that you can handle tough situations. And at that moment I was really shocked that, okay, what to do now? Like I can't go back because cars coming, and there's only one way to go forward, and this person is standing and he's just coming at me. But luckily I I was able to tackle that situation. So that's how, fitness and some sort of things could always help you. If you ask me if I had a chance to run, I would run more. Honestly, I would not get into any physical fights like this, because you never know what a person is carrying, a knife or a gun. But sometimes you don't have a choice. Every fitness has a journey, and you have to find yours at the end, because that's the only thing which will remind you of the bad days, and how you being physically active or being mindful of your health actually help you out to get out of. I wanted to share this journey because, again, like I said, that even if it changes someone's life, that's gonna be a really cool thing, to hear, or to know that you could change someone's life, that you could actually make an impact in someone's life, that they heard you, or they watched something which was there on the internet said by you, and it actually motivated them, to lead a better life, a life where they can take care of themselves and the people around them. I mean, the people they love around them, right? So that's the whole motivation, just helping, just spreading the word, just being out there and letting you know that how powerful you are, and you can achieve anything which you think you can, but if your body is unfit, it creates a hurdle for you. Once you have a fit mind and a body, I don't think so. You're more dangerous than a bullet, I would say. So guys, keep lifting, keep running, keep that fire in you. There are a lot of good things happening. You gotta be fit and alive to see all those things in the world. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you soon again. Bye.